Hello movement snackers. We are ready. Here is our 4 p.m. Have you been looking forward to this part? Now, if you are joining us on catch up and you want to get straight to the business, straight to the sway part, then just fast forward me on this blurby preamble part and you can get straight in. Yeah, and you can get straight into the movement snack from there. We've got some first arrivers. First arrival, Bob, you're in. Hello. Number 1 to you, gold medal. How are you doing today? We've got a couple of people lurking in the background, so feel free to continue to lurk in the background, or if you want to throw a message up to say hi, to say what you're doing, to say how you've been getting on and what changes you may have noticed since you began your mission on our movement snacks. Be great to hear. We love these little stories. It brings a real good, warm, fuzzy feeling to us, and it sticks a good old smile on our faces as well. It's great to know. And any small gain, who cares? It's a gain, isn't it? The collective has just arrived. Good afternoon to you, Sheila. Where's the rest of you? You've beat them today. Now, you had a good movement snack with Dave and Bex today. Hopefully you'll see some of the things overlap into what we do in our sway and stretch, and also some of the things that you do in previous movement snacks will also contribute to your movement patterns and the quality of your movements, and for you to feel steady and stable, whether you're stood on your feet or sat in the chair. It all links it. We're drawing the round part of the circle now, bringing it to a close with our 4 p.m. sway and stretch. A few more people in. Bex is in, Maddie's in, Red Rita, Chris, Mrs. Perry is in. Tick off the register, there we go. All right, Klebs, all right, Bex. I'm good. I did miss you all yesterday though, to be honest. It felt really weird not doing a movement snack. But I was booked in at 4 o'clock to do the Try It Tuesday for Leicester City Council, as I work for them as well part-time. Nobody turned up at 4 p.m, so I'd sacrificed my movement snack with you lot to do something a little bit different but also a little bit samey, and nobody turned up. Very disappointed. Anyway, who's me timekeeper? Anybody volunteer? Or will I just get a load of go, go, go messages in a couple of minutes? So who else is joining us today? We normally get a good old gathering for this part of the mission, don't we? Gillian's here. Where's the Gillian with a J? And then we'll have the Port Talbot. You're right, Bex, this is the best. Maybe had 1 or 2 glitches there, but hopefully we're back on now. So, it doesn't matter if this is your first movement snack of the day or your third movement snack of the day. It doesn't matter. All movement minutes matter and count. So this just might be a starting point for you. And then as you bring yourself further and further into the mission with us, you'll be able to do more in a seated or a standing position, or go between either or. We are also on Facebook. Well, we're on Facebook now. What am I talking about? We're on Facebook for catch-ups, and you can scroll as far back to get any of the previous movement snacks over the last few weeks. But also there's a big library of stuff, as some of you may well know, on YouTube. So if you head into YouTube or signposting friends and family to YouTube, it might be easier for them to do that than to set up a Facebook account. It depends how techie they are, doesn't it? And if they're not able to get said grandson, granddaughter or other family members to sort them out, it might be a bit tricky. So YouTube could be a good option. Like and subscribe, and then they will keep notifying you as and when we update our library of movement snacks. We're on a go, go, go. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Kelsey Leverton from Later Life Training, but broadcasting from a somewhat cloudy and threatening to chuck it down Leicestershire countryside. Here we are with our sway and stretch. We're bagging this third session of movement minutes today, beginning with circulation boosting. So swipe the comments to the side if you want. Have a think about where you'd like to begin your movement from. Let me just get organised myself. Hip walk in the front third of your chair if you're not at the front already. If you're in standing, organise your weight evenly over both your feet, standing up tall through your legs. Everybody sitting or standing tall through your middle bits as well. Shoulders, give them a couple of rolls back and down. Just 2 or 3 of those. There's going to be a bit of shoulders through our sway. Comfortable range of movement though. So just before we get to that point, let's do some circulation boosting. Take hold of your support should you need it. Could be one hand, you could be facing your support. Make sure it's sturdy, reliable, not too high, not too low, so you have room to hunk over it. Where you can just rest your fingertips lightly and get your feet moving. Full leg march, head straight into that if you like. Or if you'd prefer to begin with a few heel pumps, there was quite a lot of calf work through Bex's session today. So those calf muscles are probably begging for a good stretch a little bit later on into this movement So if you want, sitting up tall through your posture, bring in one arm, swing in. In standing, keep hold of your support just as you bring the one arm in, and then change sides at some point. Now earlier today as well, Bex had you stepping round to face the other direction so that you could go off in the other direction whilst being able to hold on to some support. So you might want to do that if you've not got anything directly to the other side, or you just don't want to face front onto it. It's up to you. Both arms into the mix if you can. Use your posture. So we've got our posture stabilising us around the middle, whilst our arms and legs move around it. Take a pause there, just bring everything to a slow stop, pause, settle, ground your feet, or your feet and your bottom in the chair, and just take a couple of long deep breaths. So before we head into our sway, I want you to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Just taking a moment to lengthen out each breath. Just notice your chest rising a little bit more than normal and then falling a little bit more than usual. Hold on if you need to. Try not to hold your breath at any point. Just keep it flowing like a circle. No start, no beginning. That's not part of your sway, by the way. All right, let's have a think about our feet. In the chair, you might want to position them a little bit wider. In standing, just a little bit wider, not too much. And your toes, you might find it a bit more comfortable just to turn them out at kind of 10 to 2. Sink into the knees here. And if you want, take hold of your support as you shift from one side to the other. It doesn't matter which side first. So just gliding through the movement. As you do that, keep on going in standing. Here we are in seated. What you'll be doing is feeling the weight shift from one side of the bottom, passing through the centre and then over to the other side. And this can be a bigger shift of weight or just a small shift of weight. It's up to you. Have a go at linking that with each breath. So breathing in As you shift one direction, breathing out as you shift the other direction. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep going, just do a couple more shifts wherever you are, in seated or in standing, holding on or not needing to hold on, and take a pause in the middle. All right, so we've done a bit of rehearsal with legs. Let's have a look at the arm movement. So standing tall, just standing tall but comfortable, not rigid through any part of your body or your muscles. Keep the arms low, let the arms hang. Have a go at crossing the arms in front, palms are coming in and then pushing out to the side. Just do that a couple of times in that lower set position. Have a go at changing the position of your arms so your palms are in and then pushing away. If you can make that any bigger, still keep it low. That's great. Hold it wherever you like. It can be as small or as large a movement as suits you. Let's have a go at bringing palms in, about chest height now, palms out. Small to start with, and then if you want to, start to bring it a little bit wider, so we're getting a bit more stretch and reach with your arms there. Holding on and just working one arm if you like. Do 2 or 3 on each side and then change. Alternatively though, hips against, we've said this a few times for a number of our movements, hips against the wall or a switched off radiator can be just as good. All right, the third part of our movement, we take the arms up and back down. So you can see my arms are quite bent at the moment. My shoulders aren't hunching up towards my ears either. So the shoulders will want to do that. Try and keep them settled. So your shoulders are pretty much set down and away from your ears. And that can be one arm or both arms, of course, depending on what feels right for you. Just slightly in front of your head. Take a pause there. Exactly the same in seated. So here we go. If you want to watch first, we've got a low cross and press out, a chest height cross and push out, and then a little bit higher, circling all the way down, and here's just the full stop. I think I called it the other day. The full stop is just a little float up, float down of the arms. There's your start place. Holding on to the support, we've got low, we've got middle, we've got over the head but slightly in front. I can still see my hand there, round to draw the circle and a press down. You could do that facing as well. So see what feels right for you. Just take 1 or 2 more flows through that sequence. And then we're going to have a go at putting our legs and some breaths with it. So when you're ready, if you want to, just get the legs moving first. Hold on, or this is a shift, remember, from side to side in your chair. Just link the breathing to this part of the movement again. So breathing in and out. You might find that your movement slows just that little bit more as well. Are we ready? So crossing low, breathing out, crossing chest, breathing out, reaching up and over, not too high, not too stretched, and come back to the center. Take a deep breath in and exhale. There's a full stop. Off you go again if that feels all right for you. Breathing in and out. Holding the chair, holding onto the side if you need to. And then this is a bit more of a stretch and a reach if that feels all right for your shoulders. If your shoulders aren't keen on that part, just do a slightly higher, another crossover, and then come down. Keep your elbows slightly bent there as well. Breathing in. Here's your chair version. Back to the centre, take a pause, breathe in, breathe out. There's your full stop. Have a couple more rounds of that, people. Changing arms if you do need to hold on, especially as we shift the legs. It requires you to do a bit more around your balance than your body has to do when you are standing still and just moving the arms. So we've added in a bit of complexity. I'm guessing you're just finishing off your last one or getting a quick one done. We're adding in a little bit of complexity. There's some options there depending on how your shoulders feel. And we've progressed and added some breath to it, some longer, deeper breaths. Take a pause, take a full stop with that finishing part and have a rest. There we go. There's your sway. Let's stretch now, everyone. So I think calves have been really needing this stretch after Bex's heel raises, pedal pushes, or whatever they were called. I can't remember now. Standing up, come close to the wall, hands firmly onto the wall. Just step 1 foot back. For the moment, leave the heel up. I want you to just soften your knees a little bit. Let me come into a place where you can see this a bit better. Soften your knees a little bit and then push your hips forwards. Hold on to the side, hold on to the wall. Can you feel that down the front of your leg? Now it's quite tricky to do a stretch like that in the seat. So pause there for a moment, wait for me to get there. If you're in standing, push the heel down now. Hold on to your support and bend the front leg and you'll be into your calf stretch. In seated, we're just going to have a go at the calf stretch. So forwards on your chair if you're not there already. One leg out straight. Can't see my feet there, can you? One leg out straight, sitting tall, pulling back the toes towards you. I think Bex did a little cast off, didn't she? And pulled the toes back with an imaginary landing net or whatever it is. Pulling the toes back, stretching into the calf area. In standing, if you're ready to change sides, remember, hands against the wall, heel up at the back, just for a moment there. Sink slightly into the knees and then have a think about pelvic tilting or pushing the hips under, tucking your bum and your tailbone under. And that should get you a bit of a stretch into the hip and into the front of your leg a little bit more. In the chair, if you're ready to change sides, switch over legs. And in standing, when you're ready, press the heel down at the back, toes along, well, feet along tram lines, just so that we're not crossing over into a tightrope type position. And that will make it easier for you to maintain your balance, just with that slightly wider position. Can we feel that into the calf muscle? Great stretch to do. Gives us a bit more movement available around the ankles. Helps with our walking pattern, and of course helping when we're putting on shoes and socks and things like that in seated particularly. We'll need a bit of calf stretch. All right, take a pause there, everyone. Now I'm going to invite you all to take a seat for this back of thigh stretch. Hang on a minute. Let me just tweak slightly. I get an extra sit to stand in, don't I? Or stand to sit. Back of thigh then. Loose ankle. One leg out straight. Loose ankle, hands on the bent leg. Bex has been talking a bit about pelvic tilt in this particular position, aiming to get you to lengthen up, kind of tailbone sticks out a little bit there. But then from there, take a tilt forwards, holding it when you hit the bite. Notice what's happening with your top half. I think it's almost too easy sometimes for us to end up rounding forwards rather than extending and leaning forwards. And lengthening this muscle helps you to reach down as well. Whether it be down to the floor, whether it be getting on and off the floor, we'll need a degree of flexibility within our muscles of our legs so that we're able to achieve the position so that we can get up and down or even bend and straighten. Reaching and grabbing. Recover. Change sides. So if there's any of these stretches that you particularly like, lengthen, tilt and lean, then feel free to repeat them again after our movement snack has finished. Muscles like a good long stretch, and they like it more so when the muscles are warm. So if you've been for a long walk or been quite active in the garden or coming up and down the stairs to do bits and pieces, then your muscles will enjoy a stretch after that. Okay, changing the chair position. You stay where you are in the chair. We're going to do the inner thigh. So this is your sumo sit. Feet out wide. A little bit wider than we had when we were doing our sway. Turn the knees out, turn the toes out. Hands pressing on the legs. If you feel comfortable to lean forwards to get a little bit more press on the inside of the knees, you're pressing the legs in that direction. You should feel the muscles stretch here. I deliberately wore my trousers that were in good nick. No sew jobs needed today. Okay, take a pause there. All right. If you prefer to be in standing for our final two stretches, then be my guest. Come into standing, but make sure you just feel confident on your feet. Both hands are coming round here into our chest stretch. Give your shoulders maybe 1 or 2 circles. Heading into the chest stretch then, so side of the hips, knuckles or palm, depending on how your shoulders feel. That can happen also in the chair, but we can also reach a little bit further back before we squeeze our shoulder blades together. Hold and breathe. Hold and breathe, everyone. Looks like I've got no arms, doesn't it? It's a funny angle on the camera. Take a pause. Come out of that. Upper side then. So these upper body stretches shouldn't be painful, but you should feel when the stretch starts coming into the muscle. So press the elbow as high as it can go until you reach your sticking point. Now your sticking point, I've got my foot stuck under the chair then, might be a little bit lower than what my sticking point is. But as long as the shoulder feels okay, hold it there. You can either take a full stretch up, lengthening down the side of your body. If that's not great for your shoulder, then let's look after it and just lengthen. Keep the arm where it is, lengthen and tilt over to the side, holding the chair if that makes you feel a bit more confident in this seated position. Hips are glued, of course, when we go into that bit of a sideways bend. So take in the elbow up, trying to keep the neck long, stretching down the back of the arm in this position. If you want to, the arm reaches up and we have an extra stretch, just hold it for a couple of seconds. If this is you, hold the chair if you want to, take a tilt over, lengthen down here. And all of these lengthening, stretching movements help with posture, a more open posture, can help with any reaching into higher places as well. So reaching, lifting, grabbing, those kind of actions. All right, we're done. So I hope that was good for you. We will progress with some head movements with tomorrow's movement snack in the sway part. For this evening, if you feel like you've done enough, then that's fine, isn't it? You've done enough. If you're feeling extra tired than normal, this will probably do for you. But if you've got some energy left, or you've got some cups of teas to make, or some dinners to get going, and there's a crowbar opportunity for you to do a few heel raises, toe walks, an extra stretch maybe, a bit of a sway, then we can always slot it in. They're your movement minutes, they're yours to bag. We're just here to give you a bit of a kick up the bum and to influence greater change, of course. Hope you've enjoyed that, people. Have a lovely evening. I might go storm chasing later. Hopefully there'll be thunder and lightning. Up until tomorrow afternoon then, people. See you later.